Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Twan, man. We back on another episode on the Rise, man. Hey, I know I've been going for a while, man, but we back. NBA season starts tomorrow, Tuesday. Kickoff, man. 2 games, 2 big games, man. But gonna get into it with a big time barbershop discussion, man. Hey, we're doing rankings right now. We're doing top 5 point guards in the league right now, man. Before I start the video, I want everybody to hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button, and make sure y'all engage in the comments too, man. Tell me what y'all think. We agree, we disagree, we go back and forth. Everybody got their reasons, man. It's open discussion. So let's get into it, man. Hey, number five, man. Hey, I'm at a mix with number 5. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? You can really put it on a lot of scales of like what you want in your point guard. But it's out of 3 guys to me. Right now it's out of Kyrie Irving, Jamal Murray, and Trae Young to surprise a lot of people. I'm going to start off with Trae Young, big surprise. Trae Young is number 2 in assists last year. He had 9 assists last year to go along with damn near 30 points. So you got to respect a guy like that. I mean, he was doing – I get it, his team don't win a lot, but his team is shit. You gotta blame the GM. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, oh, he's not one of the best players because his team is shit. You know what I'm saying? When LeBron came into the league, LeBron was instantly a top, you know what I'm saying? He was a top 5, top 10 player, just his team was losing. When I can go to other sports, when Jalen Ramsey and people came into the league at corner and stuff, I can see, okay, that's one of the top corners in the league, or that's one of the top players in the league. It's just their team is not winning yet. Their GM needs to put talent around them to make them flourish into something special. You know what I'm saying? That's what Trae Young is going through right now. I mean, he's putting on the show. His team is just not winning. His team. I mean, he really don't really have the help. You know what I'm saying? Until he gets the help, until he gets experience, until he gets the coach, until he gets put in a good position to win, like how other guys have got. They got co-stars to go with them. Then, okay, we can have a different discussion. Everybody else, Jamal Murray got a Batman. He got Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie, he got somebody. He got Kyrie. He got KD. He had LeBron for a while. I mean, everybody really has a second star except Trae Young. So they got to build around him, but he has the range. He can shoot from distance. He's a special passer. I mean, clearly, you average 9 assists the first. Your rookie season, you average 8 assists. So you have a gift when it comes to passing the ball. I always thought that was like one of his biggest, that was his biggest strength in me. Not only he can pass, but he can see the floor. He can see the floor so well. If you gravitate to him too much and show him too much respect, and you know what I'm saying, start sagging off your defenders and start showing him a lot of attention and flowing the defense towards him, then he would dot that ass up. He would really dot that ass up with the passing game, and you're going to really pay. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Trae Young as as a sleeper. Another guy who I'm looking at is Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, in the regular season, he wasn't all that great. He averaged 18, you know what I'm saying, in the regular season. He had his games where he had big games, and he had games where it was like, oh, man, damn, that's a big game. But it wasn't, consistent. It wasn't like you was constantly seeing, you know what I'm saying, okay, that's a star in this league because he's bringing it every single night. When you bring it every single night, that's when you become a star. But we seen that in the bubble. When they went to the bubble and everything, in the playoffs started and everything, bro, Jamal Murray put on a fucking show. I'm talking about my good dog. I'm talking about 40-point game, back-to-back, 50-point games. I mean, he was the MVP of the bubble. Had the Denver Nuggets won the championship, he would have probably got MVP over Jokic, I believe, because he was the MVP of the whole bubble. In my opinion, he was lighting that ass up. It didn't matter. That he was also involved in probably I think that was the most entertaining playoff series that I ever seen in my entire life, with the Utah Jazz and the Denver Nuggets. I'm talking about, you got 2 guys going back to back. You got one guy, Jamal Murray, dropping 50. You got another guy in Donovan Mitchell dropping 50. They clashing, going head to head, and they going back and forth. Jamal Murray drops him off. Donovan Mitchell comes back, drops him off. Jamal Murray does the same thing, and then you win it. You come back on a 3-1 lead twice. You came back on Utah, And you came back on the Clippers, who was a lot of people's favorites in the playoffs, against a Clippers team who had a whole bunch of quote-unquote lockdown defenders. You did this on Kawhi, on Paul George, on Pat Beverly, on Marcus Morton. You did this on a lot of guys who can play defense, and it was like, damn, you was giving them 40. It wasn't like you was giving 20-point games, having good games and stuff like that. Oh, Jamal Murray play. No, you was lighting their ass up consistently, and it wasn't a damn thing they could do about it. That was the thing. So, but I can't put him at number 5 yet over Kyrie because I still need to see more. I still need to see, okay, is this real or was that just bubble Murray? Is that bubble Jamal Murray or is that Jamal Murray now? I got to see it because if that's Jamal Murray now, hell yeah, he's top 5. But I got to see it. And I got to see it. I got to see it. And when I see it, I'll make sure I change the list because the list is fluent. But I'm going to give it to Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving, because he's still fucking Uncle Drew. I get it. People don't want to give him the love that he deserves right now because of the ignorant stuff that he says to the media and, you know what I'm saying, the problems he caused in the locker room with his teammates, calling guys out, and, you know what I'm saying, he just does a lot of extra shit that you don't like. So it's just like, okay, it gives people a reason not to really like Kyrie Irving, not to vote Kyrie Irving and stuff like that. But this list is strictly on the court. This list is strictly on how you perform when you're on the court. And when Kyrie's on the court, he's a fucking problem. He's top 5 in the league. He's been top 5 in the league at his position for years now. I mean, we can even go all the way back to Cleveland. In Cleveland, it wasn't like he was getting carried by LeBron. LeBron go over 40, he will go over 40. LeBron go over 30, he go over 30. Hell, he hit the game-winning shot for Golden State to win the championship. So Kyrie Irving is that dude. In Boston, people say they had issues in Boston and it didn't work out in Boston. But people forget that first year in Boston, they was like number 1, number 2 in the East in Boston. He led that team to that record and to sit on top of the East. And it was a big powerhouse. What happened was Kyrie Irving got hurt right before the playoffs, and that's what caused Terry Rozier to step in and carry the reins and take that credit. And that's when he got the nickname Scary Terry, and they went on that run, and they eventually lost to Cleveland. But you can't take that away from Kyrie Irving. You can't say, oh, okay, well, he didn't bring it and everything else. Because, I mean, before LeBron got there in Cleveland, he was a baby. Then when he finally started reaching his prime and stuff like that, he was doing it with LeBron. Then in Boston, he had a good season. Putting up numbers, and he led them to a great record. And then in Brooklyn, they had a playoff record. It's just he got hurt again, and he was putting up numbers in Brooklyn. It's just he got hurt again. That's all it was. But Kyrie Irving is still a top 5 guy. He's still a top 5 guy. Him and Jamal Murray have similar games. It's like they're both not true point guards and not pass first point guards, not true leaders and stuff like that. But they're scorers. They're scorers at the point guard position because of their size. They're really twos. Like, they're really shooting guard builds, shooting guard skill sets, but because of their size, you put them at the point guard position. But if I want to take my pick out of which scorer do I want, which scorer point guard I want, who's the better player, I'm going with Kyrie Irving right now. I got to see it again with Jamal Murray. I've seen it with Kyrie Irving for years. I got to see it with Jamal Murray. And Trae Young, he's got to win. Trae Young has got to win. He's got to get his team in the playoffs at least one time for him to finally get elevated into that top 5 position. Okay, number 4, I'm going Chris Paul. He's still the best leader in basketball outside of LeBron James. If nobody before the season picked OKC to make the playoffs, nobody. They actually did a poll, and I think it was like 2% of people in America, or by experts or whoever, was saying that the Thunder was going to make the playoffs last season. They proved 98% of them people wrong. And them 2% probably came out of residents out of Oklahoma City or fans of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm talking about Chris Paul led a team with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dennis Schroeder, and Steven Adams, and a bunch of other guys. You had Gallinari and stuff like that. So that wasn't a team that you thought was, okay, they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, they made the playoffs, and he put that team on his back. Hell, if he didn't pull his hamstring against Golden State, they probably beat Golden State. But he got hurt, and you know what I'm saying? That happened. So, but Chris Paul still can make big-time shots. Still one of the best passers in the league. Still can clamp up on defense. He's still one of the best leaders in the league. I mean, he is a top 5 point guard. I got him at number 4 over Kyrie Irving. At number 3, I'm going with Luka though. I'm putting Luka over Chris Paul and Kyrie Irving because Luka he reminds me of LeBron James a little bit as far as just taking control of a game. Just taking control of the game, giving them the ball, letting them be the leader, letting them make the decisions, letting them make the reads, the passes, and letting them control the game, controlling the tempo and stuff like that. He does that at a different level. Outside LeBron, he controls at a different level. When that, you know what I'm saying, that era of LeBron and KD and all them guys flow out of here, the next era is going to be led by Luka Doncic. Luka and Giannis. They're going to be the 2 guys leading the next era because Luka, he's not as athletic as LeBron. He's not as, you know what I'm saying, he's not, that's the only thing you can say. He's not as athletic as LeBron, and he's not as well on defense as LeBron. You know what I'm saying? He can't really clamp up like that, stay in front of his man. He's really like a smart defender, more as an athletic defender. And he's not athletic. He's not going to give you the flashy dunks. He's not going to get the chase down blocks and everything else. But one thing that he does do, he controls the game at a different. It's just different when you see it. And he has a killer unstoppable move. He has that step back that you can't really stop. He's a mismatch problem. You really got to put wings on him because you can't really put point guards on him because outside of Ben Simmons, he's going to abuse almost every point guard that's going to guard him. So, and maybe even Drew Holiday can maybe stay with him a little bit, but he's going to still do work. He's still going to he's a walking triple-double. He's a walking triple-double. He's different. He's super talented, all that. But number 2, I got to give it to Damian Lillard. Number 2, Damian Lillard for sure. Dame Dollar, he put on the show. I think for the bubble MVP, it's out of Jamal Murray and Damian Lillard. It's just I can't give him MVP of the playoffs because he only lasted 1 round. But it says something for you to lose to the guys who won the championship. It's not like they lost to a guy who – it's not like they lost to a team who, you know what I'm saying, lost the very next round. They lost to fucking LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They lost to the Lakers who won the championship. Okay. And then he hurt his finger, dislocated his finger and everything else, and that affected him. So you got to – hey, man – and then before the playoffs even started, you got to think, he had to play into the playoffs against the Grizzlies. He was playing like damn near whole games, like 40-plus minutes a game. He was worn out. And still on top of that, still gave a fight effort, still was like doing his part. Averaged 30 for the season, shot over 40%, was putting on 50-point performances in the bubble, 40-point performances in the bubble. He was doing all that. He was putting in work. Damian Lillard has finally arrived at his peak level, and he looks unstoppable right now. But number 1, I'm still going with Steph Curry. I'm still going with the chef, Steph Curry, because I don't give a damn if he ain't played last season. I didn't knock LeBron when LeBron didn't make the playoffs, and they missed the playoffs, and Kawhi won his little lucky-ass ring and stuff like that and say, okay, well, LeBron's not a top 5 player, not a top 10 player because he didn't play last season. No. LeBron was still the best player in the world because last time I seen LeBron, he was the top player in the world. Until he comes back and he drops off, then I'll rank him down. But people say, oh, well, he didn't play last season, so you can't put him top. No. As far as I'm concerned, last time we seen him in action, matter of fact, when he came back against Toronto, he put on a show. He lit Toronto ass up and won by himself. No Clay, no Steph. Not Clay, no KD, it was just Steph, and he put on a show against Toronto. So it was like this is the first, and last season was the first season he shot under 40%, and that was only like 2 or 3 games, so you can't really even count that. But he never ever outside of last season shot under 40%. Never ever shot under a 40% clip from 3. Damian Lillard, this is the first time Damian Lillard even done that. This is the first. Damian Lillard been in the league for some years. This is the first time Damian Lillard ever shot over 40% from 3, ever. And they both shoot tough shots. You can't give me he shoot tough shots and Steph don't. Steph shoots tough shots. Steph shoots off the move, the catch, the dribble, and transition. Hand in his face. It don't matter how it's coming. The shot is coming up. I'm talking about distance. He's the best shooter of all time. But the thing that separates Steph Curry from the pack is he's different. He's something, he changed the game. Before Steph Curry came around, hell, pulling up a transition for a three, when you got 2-on-1, you got 3-on-1, you shoot a three in transition, that was considered a badass shot. You get yanked out the game for that shit. Now, it's like, now that's a thing. Now that's like a trend. Everybody's doing it now. Everybody feel like they Steph Curry. Before, everybody wanted to dunk. Everybody want to be like Mike. Everybody be like LeBron James and stuff like that. Now everybody want to be like Steph Curry. So you change the game. On top of that, you do something that no one else in the league that I see with my eyes is doing. And that's movement. His movement without the basketball is different. It's unmatched, bro. It's unmatched, bro. Like, dog, like there's nobody moves without the basketball like Steph Curry. I don't think no one ever has. I mean, he's constantly always moving. Whenever guys pass the ball, even LeBron, the best guys in the league, Michael Jordan did it. Harden does it. Luka does it sometimes. When they pass the ball, you probably yourself watching this video, you probably do it sometimes. You do it at open gym, I guarantee you. When you pass the ball, you just sitting there waiting. You might set a little screen. You might go to the opposite wing or something like that. But you ain't doing too much, though. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. Steph, he passed the ball. He cutting hard, waiting for a down screen to come up a screen. If that don't work, he going to flash to the opposite wing. Go set a screen for somebody else. Set a screen for somebody else. Pop out. Trying to take a three. I mean, he's always constantly moving. He's constantly a threat. He has the ability. He can play. Steph is the type of superstar that can play with anybody. You know what I'm saying? He can play with anybody. It's only a certain amount of guys that can play with anybody, I feel like, in this league. And he's one of them. Like, he's not a guy like Harden who's going to take a whole bunch of dribbles and take out the whole shot clock. Although Steph, he has the ability to do that. If you put Steph in a Mike D'Antoni offense, yeah, Steph going to get you 30 and 10. He's going to probably win MVP. He's going to put up stupid numbers, probably better than Harden because he shoots better. But it's just the fact he doesn't do that. He's a true team player. He's a true team leader, and he just tries to get everybody involved. He don't mind being a decoy sometimes. Steph is one of those guys, he can shoot 0 for 8 for the first half. In third quarter, it's not like you're going to sag off him because it's like, oh, Steph don't got to go in there. I'm going to help and, you know what I'm saying, show a little help defense and stuff like that. No, you're going to still be tight on Steph Curry because you know at any given moment he can get hot. He's one of those shooters. He's a real shooter. Steph is one of those guys, if I'm a coach, Steph can go over 12 the whole game, but I'm still going to have confidence for Steph to take the last second shot at the end of the game if we're down 2. Take the last second 3. Because at the end of the day, it's Steph Curry. Okay? So that's my rankings. That's my top 5. I got 1 Steph Curry, 2 Damian Lillard, 3 Luka Doncic, 4 Chris Paul, and I got 5 at Kyrie Irving. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. My name is Torn, man. This the Rise, man. We out. Yes, sir.